What's up there, squad? Father Gregory here, coming at you from the Swiss Alps. Actually, I think the Alps behind me are the Italian Alps, but who's keeping track? No one. Doesn't matter. I'm here with a group making a pilgrimage in the footsteps of St. Francis de Sales. So we're in the region around Geneva. Right now, we're at the Grand Saint Bernard, which is a high mountain hospice run by the canons of the Grand Saint Bernard. And this is a place where pilgrims have been romping through the mountains for hundreds and hundreds of years. But we've been meditating together on the Introduction to the Devout Life by St. Francis de Sales. The book is divided into 5 parts, and in the first part, he's kind of probing our desire to be saints, or he's probing our desire to live the devout life. And so, kind of in meditating upon some of his reflections and the commendations that he makes as to spiritual progress, I think that we can all cultivate 2 kind of basic virtues. The first is curiosity, and the second is honesty. With respect to curiosity, you may have heard curiosity described as a vice, so that can be confusing when I refer to it as a virtue. But basically what I'm referring to here is the desire to inquire into our life, into our experience, into our relationships and interactions, and to see what's actually going on. I think sometimes we fear that, what we find in our lives will not correspond to God's offer of divine life, or that it's just like too ugly, too silly, too dumb to really be worth reckoning with. But God, in his infinite loving kindness, has seen fit to meet us in the whole of our human condition. So we can stand to be curious and to ask ourselves, like, what's actually going on? Who am I actually? What am I actually for? So that the offer of grace can be in conversation with our real lives rather than our imagined lives or our wished for lives. And then the second thing is honesty, which is to say we need to be willing to confront what we find, or perhaps to embrace what we find. Because sometimes we wish that other graces had been given to us, like that we were smarter or taller or better at basketball. I don't know exactly what your experience is. But what we find will always and everywhere correspond to God's offer of grace. Jesus Christ is the same yesterday, today, and forever. His offer is for all persons of all times and places. He desires that all be saved and come to the knowledge of the truth. So when we reckon with our real condition, then we're able to offer that to the Lord and submit it to his healing and elevating power. So here in the mountains, in a beautiful setting, we thank God Almighty for communicating to us in various ways so that we can be drawn into his life, so that we can discover a meaning and purpose which goes beyond the mere workaday or mundane, but ranges all the way to heaven. So prayers for you from the mountains, St. Francis de Sales interceding. God love you, squad.